No matter how you look at it, you are a slave. But enslavement doesn't have to be boring. No. Celestian Elvacosian invites you to Slavery Now, the only show that deals with enslavement on Earth.
Good morning. Welcome back to Slavery Now. My name is Celestian Elvacosian. I'm a Stellan, and we're going to talk about being a slave. And not only being a slave, but we're going to talk about how to enjoy being a slave. Because as we all know, we're living in a slave world, so we might as well enjoy it. And at Slavery Now, my job is to make slavery fun. So now, we all know that we're living in these mental chains, that we're chasing distractions and these illusions of ego, of being important, of having a dream. And we're all part of this nightmare that we're living in. And so we have to look at ways to make all of this a lot more relaxing. You know, to really just to step back. Because you know what's coming now? Folks, what's coming now, you're going to love this. What's coming now is an economic depression. A severe depression that's really going to hit, everybody. I hate to say it, but it's going to hit everybody right in the... Okay? It's going to hurt. So, the best thing to do is really to turn all this around. And that's why at Slavery Now, we're going to show you how to look at an economic depression as a new way of life. Here's a chance. Here's a chance to really explore other aspects of yourself. As you know, Slavery Now is a kind of program, we're unconventional. We look at unconventional things and we look at ways to deal with these unconventional things, because the world is unconventional. The world is, for lack of a better word, the world is insane, right? There's censorship, there's violence, there's war, there's misinformation, there's leadership corruption, and there's slavery. So that's why we're here, right? So we're unconventional. We look at things in a different way. When we first started out, we look at all the important subjects. So we looked at apathy. In human culture, there's apathy, this pervasive laziness, and it's so widespread. It's like a disease, but we don't talk about it because there's no cure for laziness. And we discovered this apathy, and we discovered that people really, they really like apathy. In fact, apathy was what inspired the invention of the sofa, of the couch. So, you see, there's this pervasive piece of culture, apathy, human apathy, and it inspired an invention, the sofa. Now we have the couch potato. We have television, you sitting on a sofa. So there can be benefits to what seemingly might be perceived as a negative, right? Being lazy does have its advantages. And so that's what we found. We found that connection that no other program ever discovered, that the apathetic human led to the invention of the sofa. But that's why we're here. We're here to discover new things. For example, we also looked at the UFO disclosure. We looked at the leadership of the world. We looked at the corruption involved. We looked at the cover-up. There's a huge cover-up for the starships and non-human cultures. There's a widespread cover-up. But on the human level, there's no action. There's no demand. People are buying this idea that UFOs are not real, right? People are buying it. UFOs are not real. There's no scientific proof. Show me the proof and then I believe you. So, we saw that. We captured that. We said, human beings have this belief that they need proof to believe it's real. Otherwise, it's not real. And then the leaders are saying, it's not real. You see? So there's no cover-up. In fact, it's the population enjoys the cover-up. They don't want to know the truth. They don't want the starships to land. So we looked into that, and I have to tell you, we found something very interesting. Because the denial of the UFO existence, right? Human denial and human refusal to do anything about it led to something very significant, and it's the most significant invention. It's called the science fiction genre. You see? Without human denial, right? Without a UFO cover-up, there would be no sci-fi movies. There'd be no sci-fi books. There'd be no sci-fi TV shows. None of this would ever come up because it would have been true. If the starships had landed, it wouldn't be sci-fi. It would be science fact. So imagine the billions of dollars that the science fiction community, imagine Steven Spielberg not having a chance to make a sci-fi movie because it would be a documentary. E.T. the Extraterrestrial would have been a documentary. You see? So humans' denial and believing this, that there's no such thing as a UFO, and keeping the leadership, keeping the cover-up in place, led to the science fiction business, led to billion-dollar industry, corporations, movie making, and now the summer is filled with sci-fi movies. Without the cover-up, all those sci-fi movies would be documentaries. And who would be watching, who would fund, right? Who would give a budget, a $200 million budget for a documentary? So there's a benefit. That's why we're here. Slavery Now, we look at the positive stuff. So, on today's show, right, what we're going to talk about after the break, because there's a severe depression, right? There's a severe depression coming. There's going to be food shortage. So we're going to teach you ways how to nibble your bread to make it last longer and to give you the feeling that you're full, right? To fool your brain and to fill your stomach to make you think you're full by nibbling bread. And we have an expert, a bread nibbler. He's been studying bread nibbling for 25 years, and he's going to teach us how to nibble the bread to make it last longer. And there's another very important guest we have coming up, and the idea there's martial law. There's going to be martial law. People are going to be handcuffs, right? Because whatever you say against the leadership, against the authority, is going to be taken in a very violent way, and they're going to handcuff you. So we're going to teach you, we have a fashion expert coming in who's going to teach you how to dress to match handcuffs, right? Because there's only one color of handcuffs right now. And we're even looking at ways to introduce new colors of handcuffs. A whole new color spectrum of handcuffs to match your outfits. But for now, there's a metallic color. So we're going to teach you. We have a fashion expert who dresses the Hollywood celebrities. And she's going to teach us how to dress so that when we're handcuffed, we still look good. Because even you're a slave, you're allowed to look good. You have to know how to look good. And we're going to teach you that. All of this is coming up after the break. And the other thing is, probably somebody in your family is going to get incinerated because they're going to say something wrong, and they're going to upset the wrong person. Or they might even try to break free from the prison. So we're going to make sure that you learn how to smile. We're going to have someone come in who just did a book on how to smile while your mother's being incinerated. Because it's going to happen, and when your mother, or it could be anybody, it could be your child, it could be your dog, right? It could be all your dogs. They're all being incinerated, and you want to smile so that the authorities don't see you as a potential problem. You're going to have to smile. So, my mother's getting incinerated. That's nice. And we have somebody who just wrote a book. It's called When My Mother Was Incinerated, I Kept On Smiling. And so this is coming up. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. Come back after the break. I'm Telesian. This is Slavery Now. And we'll see you in 60 seconds.